Maybe we should. Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Time to go for one more minute, and then we're gonna kick off, and then we'll let a few other people join in when they come. Oh, so hold on one second. What did you say? The Zoom? If you don't already have it downloaded, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. We are about to begin. I see Chris. All right. Welcome, Chris. Awesome. Awesome. Keisha says she's trying to get in. Let's see what's going on with Key. Welcome, Chris.
Hello?
Yes, welcome, welcome.
How you doing? Sorry, my mic was on mute. How you doing? Sorry I was late, man. My computer was acting up. I had to
Yeah, no,
restart.
I realize that you know, we're doing this virtual thing, so I'm giving everyone a little bit of time to get in.
Yeah.
I see that I got a Keisha trying to get in there. Let me send her another invite real quick. She said that she can't get in on her current invite.
Okay.
So let me send her this one.
How was everything? How was your weekend? Did you enjoy yourself? Everything was good?
Oh yeah, I had an amazing birthday.
That's good, man.
Definitely thanks to all of you guys and your well wishes and all that great stuff.
Yeah, man, of
And
course.
let me And what time is it? 07. All right, so that's gonna start 5 after. So as soon as I send her this email, I'm gonna start and she will get in when she can. Okay. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. I want to thank you for making it to tonight's presentation. And before we get started, let's see, I want to welcome Chris, Jillian, Kenyatta, and I'm expecting a couple more people as they come. We'll say hello to them as well. I would like for each of you just to unmute for 1 minute, just to say hello and let the group hear you and know that you're here. And then, hi, Jillian. Okay, no problem. You're on mute. You can't come off mute. Okay, hold on. Let me see if it's me. Let me see, Jillian. Huh.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there we go. Awesome, awesome. Hi, Jillian.
How are you?
Okay. I see some more people coming in. This says Galaxy 11. Okay, I know who that is. Yeah, I'm trying to let you in. Okay. It's not telling me what you need here. Put in waiting room, rename, host, make host, ask to start video. Okay, good, good. Jonathan, all right. Excellent, excellent.
Host is asking to start the video.
Yeah, go ahead and hit start video. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please mute your microphones, and I'm gonna give some instructions to start today's information and lesson session number 1. All right, I want to welcome you guys first of all to the Cover Me Worldwide's Financial Counselor Training Session. So let me be clear about what we're doing. This is not the training for individuals to just fix their credit. What we are looking for are people to join our credit repair and wealth building team. In the process of you joining our team, one of the perks is you get to fix your own credit as a part of the learning process. If your credit's already good, you get to learn techniques on how to maintain it and how to make it better. And eventually we go into part B, which is how to make your credit work for you, how to let it make money for you. How can you, as someone put it to me earlier, how do you turn your credit into a business? So that's down the line. That's not tonight. Tonight, we're going to cut it into an hour increment. I do have a meeting, a board meeting at 8:30. So that's why I was trying to stick to a certain time frame tonight. So thank you all for being here on time. And I promise that this will be informative. I can't say finance is the most exciting thing. For me, however, I always seem to get excited about it. So I hope that you guys are as financially driven and financially excited as I am, because I am going to tell you something in the coming days and weeks that I'm sure is going to be new to you. It may not be totally new to you, but it will be at least something in depth that you may not have been aware of, or that you might not have thought about how to use your credit or what your credit means to you. But before we go into the actual work of knowing, fixing, repairing, improving your credit, in order to do this type of work, we are driven by the laws of the state that we are in as counselors, but we are also driven by the laws of the states that our clients live in. What does that mean? That means part of our jobs as counselors is we have to be on a consistent quest to educate ourselves. We cannot speak on matters that we do not know about. You have a right to tell your client, I am not well versed in that area, but I will get you whatever information I can and pass you on to someone more knowledgeable. You have that obligation. You owe your client that right to tell them that. You also have the right and the obligation to let your clients know, especially when they start asking you legal questions, to let your clients know that you are not a CPA or an attorney or whatever it is that they're delving into if you do not have a license for that area. After you tell them that, if you do have some insight that you are confident about in that area, after you've told them that, after you've made that disclaimer, then you are free to impart your opinion. That is what it now becomes, an opinion. Okay? Is everyone with me so far?
Yep, clear on this side.
Okay, very good. So now, what we're about to enter into is what created this area that we're going into? What created the need for there to be financial counselors? Well, let me give you my opinion, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to start with, what New York State says about financial counselors and their importance, right? And the reason I'm going to start with New York State rules is because New York State is one of the first states to roll out this program, and all the other states' programs are modeled after the New York State program. So I felt it was important that you guys not just learn New York State's program, but after we learn New York State's program, which will actually encompass all the other programs that we look at. All the rules that you're going to see in the New York State program, you're going to see them duplicated in other states. They're not, you may not see as many rules. New York State has a rule about everything because there's all types of weird stuff that people do to try to further disenfranchise low income and underserved communities. So our job, along with being a financial counselor, is also to safeguard the well-being of low-income individuals. We are their guardians. They are in our care. So when you take on the role as a financial counselor, you are taking on the role as a caretaker of someone's financial future. You have to take that role very seriously. It becomes who you are, and your reputation is your number one advertisement. Your reputation is your number one client attractor. Your reputation is your money maker. So do everything in your powers to safeguard your reputation. What we're about to see and go through, these rules and so forth, are also in place to safeguard your reputation. Because if you follow these rules, your reputation will always remain intact and you will always make money. All right, guys? So We're gonna go through and we're gonna now look at what New York State says in regards to what financial counselors are, who they are, and what our duties are before we go deep into the roles, okay? All right. Are you guys seeing the screen with the empowerment on it?
I do.
Okay, good. I need to refresh, I think. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Do you guys also have the copies of the work that I sent you? Because we're gonna not do everything on this stuff. We're gonna skip through to what I think are the important parts. And the first part I would like to start with is page 6, the introduction page. So I am gonna skip down to that, but if you have it in front of you, you could take a look at it right now and let me get to it while this thing here reboots. All right, so the parts that I want to highlight is on page 6. And while this reboot, I don't want to have to wait for it to reboot. So I happen to have a printout in front of me. And in paragraph 1, it states that the supervitamin effect, this is what they call financial counseling in the world of service outcomes for low-income communities, right? And you're gonna find out why they call it that in a minute. So the supervitamin effect of improved social service outcomes when integrating financial empowerment and asset building strategies into public programs, right? Are you guys following me so far? So what that essentially means is by implementing financial outcomes into social services, they receive a greater, longer lasting outcomes for the clients. The report further highlights the city's understanding that to realize the supervitamin effect of integrating financial counseling, such counseling, now this is you guys, listen to this. Such counseling must be of consistent, demonstrable, and superior quality. That's why we're doing the program. That's why we're doing the training. And I kid you not, down the road, I'm going to show you my credentials from when I started with this program. I was one of the individuals in New York that actually helped to write the laws on this program. I've been doing this since, I want to say 2003, possibly, or if not sooner. I'm gonna pull out my resume. I haven't looked at it in years. I'm gonna pull out my resume and see how far back this thing goes, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. I'm gonna share my resume with you guys down the road. In fact, I'm gonna encourage all of us to put together a resume, because one of the things we always want to do is put our clients at ease, and we have to be able to tell them about our own experiences. One of the things that's the beauty of financial counseling is you do not have to be a college graduate. You do not have to be a lawyer. You do not have to be a CPA. You just have to have an understanding of the law and the financial laws that pertain to your community and your states in particular, your state laws. All right. So you have the potential right now, just based off of your experience, to possibly be one of the top financial counselors, because nothing is greater than experience. And a lot of us have had financial adversities. And when we delve into this course, you're going to see that the experiences that you've had is now your asset. It's now your greatest ally. All right. So this is when your adversities now turn into your assets. They're now going to be your gold mine. I love telling people about when I couldn't afford a car or couldn't afford a house or couldn't afford a vacation, because guess what? Those were my learning days. Those were the best days of my life, because those were the days that I paid attention more. I was up every morning early and doing everything that I was asked to do because I was hungry. And I hate to say it, I may not be as hungry now as I am then. So I may sleep a little later. I might, delay a call or two, but guarantee you that hungry feeling is your best friend. So right now, things might not be solid for you. Things might not be 100% for you, but this could be your greatest asset. This could be the thing that it takes to motivate you to really learn this thing and turn around in a couple of weeks and start making your own money. All right, so with that said, I'm going to continue with this. It came up. All right, so we are representing the level of professionalizing the field of financial education and financial counseling. Okay, we are a part of that brand of professionalizing it. And I say that because our goal at Cover Me Worldwide is not to just send people out into the world and have them further damage individuals' credits. We don't want that. When you go out there and you start approaching people, we want you to be confident. We want you to know what you're talking about. We want you to know that when you say it is this, if they go back and they research it and they Google it, they're going to find out that what you said is as good as gold. That's what I mean when I say you have to be constantly ready to learn, because I can get a call from a client, which I have just recently, in another state. And the conversation I have with that client is its effect and its immediate purpose is to put that client at ease. You cannot put a client at ease if they feel that you don't know what you're talking about. Even if you've never visited that state, the laws are the laws from state to state. Most financial laws are federal, whether you believe it or not. And then the state takes the federal laws and breaks it down a little bit further. But most of them start at a federal level. So when you speak and you know that it's a federal level law, you are speaking from a place of confidence. If it's a state law and you don't know that law, simply tell that client, hey, I'm not very familiar with your state law, but by the time I register you and get you in our system, I would have researched your state to make sure that everything is in par with what I think it is. You tell them that. Do not put yourself in a position where they can say, oh, you lied to me or you did this or that. Just simply tell them, I will definitely get back with you with your answers, and then do your homework. Get back in your network, come to your round table, which is us, and let's get you the answers to bring back to your clients. Your clients will be your clients. Whether I give them to you or you bring them to the table, once they are assigned to you, they are your clients. We call it from the cradle to the grave. All right. That means that if your client comes to you and says, I need credit, I have no credit score, and my goal is to rent an apartment, and they tell me I need a city, that is your client's goal. That is your mission for your client. That is now what you're going to eat, drink, and sleep till you achieve that for your client. That's how seriously you take this for each and every client, which is the other term of saying, don't flood yourself with everybody's headaches. When you get into this game, you are going to find out everybody will tell you their problems. If you can't handle it or you can't listen to it, You have to find your way out of listening to that for that moment. But don't close the door. Just give yourself a pause and get back to that person when you can listen to them. You always want to give your client 100% of your ears. If you're agitated, if you just are busy, let them know. In fact, a client likes to hear that you're busy. Back to them because they know you're working, right? Rather than I'm on vacation or I'm in the store or what. No, I'm kind of with a client right now. I'm working on something for a client. Can I get back with you in 2 hours or so when I'm done? And if it's a client and you tell them you're going to get back to them, please get back to them, because that is your next referral, your next job, and your next client's friend. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So now we are going to take this. All right.
Andy, one question. I know you said that, it's really just the knowledge that's necessary. There's no licensing that's required as well.
Okay. Now, remember I said I said a lot of times it's state specific.
Mhm.
So in New York State, you have to have a certificate or a license from OFE, which is the Office of Financial Empowerment. This is who created this course document, and I'm going to show you their course requirements and guidelines. Now, this was created through the Mayor's Fund, right? I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that one of the, and I consider him to be one of the best mayors of New York, Bloomberg, yes. So Bloomberg really pushed this program. He really saw the need for low-income people to be financially educated in order to have even the slightest chance of getting themselves out of poverty and above the poverty limit. So I really applauded him for that. And it's, yeah, well, they mess up on other things, but this is one of the things that I can truly say was a blessing to particularly the minority community. And unfortunately, however, I must say, not enough people in the minority community take advantage of these programs, and I can understand why. For a long time, I worked for OFE. OFE is a city agency which is funded through a city-state grant, which is funded through the federal government ultimately. What the clients were afraid of was the fact that OFE was reporting or would report to government agencies, right? So if you're a client and you were, let's say, on food stamp, for instance, you would not want the government to know that you had any extra monies out there investing or in a bank account or anything of that, because unfortunately, that works against you. Okay? So it works against you. However, if you situate yourself in a way where you are a business and you create your tax structure properly, as a business, you can pay yourself $1 a year and your business is making $1 million, and then you can simply live off the perks of the business and never get paid more than more than $1. So when you file your taxes, you'll file that your business paid your rent, your business paid your car note, your business paid for this, that, and the other, as long as you can legally support it, mind you. I'm going to always say legally support it, and we'll get into that later. But you can structure yourself in many ways. So as a financial counselor, it's important that you always update yourself on the law. Now, I was fortunate enough where when I got into this business, I had a lot of other experiences, you know, going from Syracuse, and I was a part of the law program there, and then getting into finance. And then after leaving and finalizing my education, I started my own business. I got into entertainment, which meant a lot of numbers. I helped start businesses and, you know, all that other stuff. So I have a lot of experience, and I had it coming in to this particular industry. So, you know, my experience is different than what your experience will be, because I don't know what your background is. I don't know what history you have to bring that experience to the table. That's why, as part of your homework for our before our next session, I'm going to ask each of you guys to send me a copy of your resume. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be whatever. I simply want to know what your background is. But more than that, as a part of this circle and as a part of this organization, if you would like for your resume to be critiqued and updated in any way, let us know. We are here, we are all professionals, and there's a lot of us here that have professional resume writing skills. We want everyone in our circle to be the best they can be. And that means that if there's something I can help you get a job or make more money or do whatever it takes, that's what we're here for. That's the whole premise of our organization, Cover Me Worldwide. So please keep that in mind. Whatever your goals are, we want to help you achieve that. All right. Now, with that said, I am not going to go through their table of contents, because like I said, we're going to actually be skipping through quite a bit of these things. And I would like to actually get to, there we go, page 6. Here we go. I want to show you guys this. Philanthropic. Okay. Can you guys see where it says the supervitamin effect in brief?
Yes.
All right. So essentially, what this says is financial stability is overall economic security that can sustain an individual or family for months and years, not just days and weeks. Income and income support, such as housing subsidies, public benefits, are necessary, but not sufficient for overall financial stability. Now, take a minute to think about that question, guys. What does that really say? It's saying that you cannot rely on. They are even recommending to people that if you are on government subsidies, housing subsidies, which is Section 8 and so forth, they are telling you that you cannot rely on these things and get yourself out of poverty. They're telling you that their system is not designed for you to get out of poverty and be on their system. That's exactly what it's telling you, right? Now, as we're in training, so this is you're going to hear information that I'm going to say this is theoretical and not to be practiced in dealing with your clients. And then there I'm going to say things like, this is something you can practice with your client. But then the one that I say are theoretical, we might explore them even further, right? So I'm going to start with this one. Now, theoretically, what that statement says is true. You cannot get yourself out of poverty while being in this system. That is quite true. However, what I am going to say to you, and I am now talking to experienced financial counselors, experienced individuals whose own life experience will tell them that this statement is not necessarily true for everyone. And what I mean by that is I have had clients who been on public assistance, who've lived in the projects and have been able to still start their own business and bring themselves right from the projects into a private home and so forth. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I've even found a way to tell them how they can utilize the public assistance situation to continue to generate income for a while longer till they feel comfortable with their new situation. Now, does anyone have any idea what I'm talking about before I even really say it?
You mean as far as like utilizing the programs?
Utilizing the programs. If you're on the programs already, the programs are all legal driven. So as long as you're following the laws and guidelines and working within those guidelines, you are then following the program.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, the programs might say most of the housing subsidies, their biggest concern is earned income. They want to know, do you have excess earned income that they do not know of? Correct? So for
Yes.
instance, let's say let's say somebody here, one of my financial counselors, this is where this is going to start to benefit you just in thinking about it, right? Let's say you as a financial counselor, you are now realizing, oh, well, I might fall in this category. I am on some sort of housing subsidy. I am on Section 8, or I am on public assistance, and I cannot make excess income, but I want to do better for myself. I want to do better for my family, and I need to make excess income. How can I do it? It means that you now have to say to yourself, well, what are the avenues that are being verified as excess income? As a financial counselor, you have to know what areas these tests are looking at, and we call them tests. When the government goes in to see if you qualify for public assistance, you are given a test. It's a test of financial necessity. Do you need it? So we need to know, what are the measurements of these tests? In New York City, there's an income limit that you cannot earn above on your W-2 form. I believe for a single individual, it's about $16,000 a year. So if you have a job, and this is gross, by the way, not net. You guys do know the difference between your gross paycheck and your net paycheck, I'm sure, right? Somebody say yes.
You're cutting off, Andy.
Okay, you guys know the difference between your net pay and your gross pay, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when you go through the test to see if you qualify for public assistance, you are judged on your gross pay. That means they do not take into consideration your taxes taken out, and they do not take into consideration what you have to pay to live each month from month to month. It's all a part of your income. So that means anything extra, if you are receiving some sort of subsidy, anything extra that you earn above what they already have on record will reduce your subsidy, if not totally cancel your subsidy. So as part of your, now I'm gonna write this down too. So your first homework assignment is your resume, right? Your second homework assignment is simply to find out what are the Medicaid, guidelines? Meaning, what's your state's guidelines for Medicaid? So, Chris, you're in Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're in a great position, Chris. I'm telling you, you are in the position to literally start our whole process of financial counseling in that state, which means that all the clients that we can muster down there will be coming to you. So you of all people need to absolutely dive into what are the Medicare guidelines down there, Medicaid rather guidelines, what are the food stamp guidelines, and what are the connection points for those programs, right? How do you get those programs? What are the state offices that we call? I'm going to show you guys my database. I'm going to show you how to create your database so that way, anytime you have a client, you never have to go searching. Everything is right there for you. So I'm going to show you that later on in the process. All right. So with that said, we're going to continue with this here. So our goal as financial counselors is to train families and individuals to be self-sustainable financially. That means we want to not just fix their credit, because we don't want to fix it and for them to fall right back into the same trap 6 months to a year later. Statistics show that if someone's credit gets repaired within 6 months without financial counseling, they are right back into that situation or worse. Because what makes it worse is for that brief 6 months, they've got that window of opportunity to get more credit. So what do most people do? They jump out that window and get as much credit as they can during that 6-month period, and then come to realize they're not making enough money to pay that credit back, and they haven't learned the right techniques on how to spend and use that credit in order not to get caught up. So our role in the financial future of our families, friends, neighbors, and the people around us, our role in learning these things become more and more important every day, because more and more people are losing their jobs every day. More and more people are getting sick every day. And unless they have their financial ducks in a row and know how to utilize their credit to build more money and know how to use the money they have to make more money as safely as possible without jeopardizing it, these are the things that we are being asked and adorned with to help our clients to learn and navigate their way through. I can't stress enough how important your role is, because once someone trusts you as a financial counselor, they open up their whole world to you. Your level of being able to keep someone's confidence has to increase twofold. You cannot discuss their personal business, even sometimes with your spouse and loved ones, because you just don't know what's going to be repeated to the friend of the spouse or loved one, and who repeats to the next friend and the next friend. And as a counselor, we want to know that our clients' trusts are safe and protected. Not only that, most states, it's the law. If we breach one of our clients' trust to the tune of giving them even bad directions that ruin their credit, we can be held responsible for that.
Is it like HIPAA guidelines?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You are entering the realm of this close to the same, but not quite. And I'm going to tell you in a minute why it's not 100%. Because when you have a lawyer confidentiality with a client, that lawyer's confidentiality will end when he no longer represents you. A doctor, like a psychologist, their confidentiality ends when you are no longer their patient. With your financial counselor, there is never a cutoff point, because you will always call them for financial advice. So you have a longer period of confidentiality than sometimes even a doctor, unless that's your lifetime doctor, your PCP, who's known you forever. Now he has a debt to you that's goes back longer than anything. But most people, when they move to another state, they get a new doctor. So some people don't have that lifetime relationship with their doctor. But if you move to another state, chances are you're still going to call your financial advisor back in the state that you left. because that's who knows your issues. That's who knows what you've gone through. And they don't have to be, you don't have to create a new trust level. You don't have to go back through all the information that you gave that financial counselor before with the new one. You can still reach out. Exactly. You can still reach out to him and he'll be able to service you, or she'll be able to service you from wherever they are, especially now moving into this virtual realm that we're moving into. All right. So I would like to point out also in that same paragraph, I think I moved too fast. Yes. I would like to point out that the paragraph that says the impact, the second to the last, the impact of financial empowerment programming is just beginning to take root and gain momentum. Financial education networks, all right? That's what we are developing and doing this whole training process, because once you learn it and you help a few people and you establish yourself as a professional, other people are going to ask, how did you learn this? Can I learn it too? And you absolutely can, because we are creating a system where you and your knowledge is going to now attract other people to you that's going to want to learn this. And we're going to show you down the road how your knowledge equals money for you also. And recruiting people equals money for you. And helping people equals money for you. Everything you do equals a blessing to you in the form of better financial future. All right, so bear with the program, bear with the training, and we will definitely have you on the road to making money within the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how often you guys want to meet, which is going to be one of the things that we discussed tonight and create a plan and of action on. All right, so with that said, as well as the federal momentum, financial education networks in our city. So yes, we're creating a network within all the cities that we operate. So Florida, we're going to have a network. Georgia, Alabama, New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan. Those are where we are right now. But there's, I'm sorry, I think I am being geography challenged today. Do we have 50 states? Is it 50 or 51? The Hawaii, I'm sure, is that 50 or 51, whatever it is. We want to be in all the states in the next 5 years if it's up to my planning, but we'll go according to how, God blesses us to move. So I think someone is waiting. Is someone waiting? Hold on one second, guys.
Yeah. I guess 51 with Hawaii.
With Hawaii, right? Okay, good. All right, excellent. So, let's see what the next 5 years hold. We've got some big plans, but you guys are the most important of all those plans, because if I'm going to share our company's values and the principles that we're founded on. We initially started off as AAM, which is all about money. And we were an investment group. And, our members in that group are unbelievable. Some of them are here in this group now. And I tell you what, that group has really done some amazing things. We've gotten so close and we are now literally like family. And we wanted to share that experience with other people, other friends and family members of ours. And that brought us into our nonprofit mode. And our nonprofit mode, we went into deep dive thinking as to what it is that we really wanted to achieve for the people around us. And every single thing that we came to, happiness and this and that and education, all boiled down to us achieving one main goal, primarily first and foremost, which is control of our finances. Once we do that, I think that we should be able to navigate so many other aspects of our lives that, I always say, and I might be wrong, so don't quote me on everything. It may not work for you, but I say focus on finances first and the rest will follow. I could be wrong, but I find that, and it works for me. if my finances and the people around me, if their finances are good, I see that all the other blessings come because they're speaking so positively. They're saying such positive things about you that if I hear something positive about you, I want to know who you are. And especially if it's something that I need, I want to be with the people or the person that they're speaking highly about. So it comes right back to your reputation. You want to make sure that you do the best you can for your clients. But this is the key. We celebrate every milestone with that client. You get that client excited every time that a bill drops off of their credit report. You call them up and you give a woohoo, we did it. That's 1 of 5, 4 to go. You get them pumped up because when they celebrate for that 2 seconds, it turns into 10 minutes when they talk to their wife and 30 minutes when they talk to their friends. All right, so let's see, did we cover all of this page? Super important, guys, super important on this page. All right, so again, what we're building is we're giving them the products and the tools to build cushions against financial shocks and downturns. That's their ultimate initial goal. Anyone that's having financial problems, we can't talk to them about investing, right? If they're worried about being evicted, we cannot talk to them about the stock markets. If they're worried about eating and feeding their kids, we cannot even begin that process. And it would be to your detriment to even bring up that topic. You need to let them know that my thoughts are totally on what your issues are right now, what is worrying you right now. And if I can do something that's gonna clear that up within a week, 2 weeks, whatever you think is reasonable, you give them that reasonable amount of time. All right, because we're going to also have to research and will research legal response times. And in the credit world, there are laws, and creditors do not have all the laws on their side. In fact, creditors have the least amount of laws on their side. If you, as the person, the creditor that owes a creditor money, you have most of the laws because number one, the laws go by states. Ding, ding. Remember I said state to state. This is what we have to now know. What are our laws regarding creditors in our state? New York has the harshest laws when it comes to creditors. They can hardly go after you in New York, right? But they do, because once they know the law, they are going to follow the law and still get to you. It's our job to know when they're breaking these laws or when they haven't fully acknowledged the laws, and then we have to correct them on it. Most of the times, you're going to find out that when you correct them or you pull their coattail and you let them know that there's a watchdog on them, they will drop it and remove that debt from your client. All right. So trust me, the techniques that I'm going to show you guys, first of all, we're going to do them on our family members and ourselves first. So the last part of our homework for the night, I want you guys to find somebody in your family, whether it's yourself or someone close to you. They have to give you permission to look at their credit. Okay, so we are going to use live examples. I have a client right now that I'm saving just for this exercise. We are going to use live examples. But by our next meeting, I will be sending everyone that wishes to go forward in this program a confidentiality agreement. You have to sign it and return it to me. It is going to state that you are promising and swearing that you will protect the information of the clients that you will receive starting with this training. I will not put clients and other people's information out there to you if you do not sign this agreement. Also, I would like for each of you guys, I'm going to send another intake form. This is the Cover Me Worldwide intake form. This intake form says that you are a member of our organization. We have to make reports to our funders and to the government as to how many members we have, how many people we've spoken to throughout the years about financial counseling. We are actually going to go through tracking systems because they want to know how many outcomes we've achieved and so forth. These are the things that I'm going to show you guys, because as a financial counselor, our job, yes, is to talk and counsel and so forth, but there's another arm to it. The other part to it is we have to get paid. Now, to begin with, most of our payment will come through our clients because we're going to be dealing with our private clients first. But ultimately, most of our payments will be coming through the city and state agencies once we pick up their contracts on financial counseling, which is why I need to train as many people as I can, because then based on your state laws, we have to get you certified or licensed, and then we can start getting paid from these states for your services. We can pay you and the company gets paid. All right. So there's quite a few things that I'd like to run through in this document. So I'm going to actually quickly run through it. And because we only have a few more minutes left. So I'm going to run through. I'm not even going to go through it on the screen. I'm just going to go through my hard copy, and then you guys will have a chance to go through it on your own, right? Let's see, the impact of financial empowerment program, just to begin initiative. Standards. Okay, all right. Oh, wow. I'm almost at the end. So yeah, I do want to show you this part. Okay. This is super important, so yes. We're going to go till 8:15, guys, okay? Okay. So now, in our role as financial counselors, remember I said that part of our role is to safeguard our clients. Well, believe it or not, there's a lot we have to safeguard about, but here is a list of most of the safeguards, right? Most of the things that we have to safeguard them against. So-called courtesy overdraft bank account loans. Are you guys familiar with those? That's when the clients have a bank account and the bank will pay their debt, but then they have to pay $35 return bank fee, plus they have to pay the fee to the company that returned the check and so forth. So if it's $25 there and $35, that one check will cost that client an extra $60 or more. All right. Uh-oh, I've got some people waiting. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Said 9. I don't see 9. Let's see. Okay. That's cool. All right. The other one is high and hidden fee prepaid cards. Are you guys familiar with NetSpend?
Yep.
Has anyone here ever used NetSpend?
I have.
Okay. When you use NetSpend, every single time you use it, do they take a fee?
Yes, more than likely. I think there's certain ATMs within their network that's free, but like most of them, you have to pay a fee to even with even checking your balance. You don't even have to
Exactly. I was
withdraw
going
a
to get.
deposit. You
That's
could
right.
balance. They'll
Every
charge you like a fee,
action,
$2-3.
every single action that you take down to checking your balance is a fee.
Yep.
All right. So imagine how this adds up within the course of a month, because most people will use their card to go to the store. They use it to go on the metro rails and so forth. It adds up. High interest auto loans. If someone goes to a buy here, pay here lot, that interest rate is way more than the normal interest rate. Online payday loans, tax refund loans, right? I know you guys have heard all those tax refund loan commercials and so forth. Tuition loans, high fee check cashers, you know, those check cashing stores and so forth. Debt relief and debt settlement companies, all right? Those things there have more fees than you can imagine. Okay, so now those are just a few of the things that we're going to be working on saving our clients, and I'm going to show you how to deep dive into all of those. The thing I want to show you the most, and then I'm going to end with you guys after this, is the level of financial education and counseling that we are going to deliver to our clients. You see where it says CMWC combines all 5, right? So these are the levels, individual levels of service that's going to be delivered to our clients, right? So when the doors open back up, when the doors open back up, and we're doing one-on-one counseling again, we are going to be doing one-on-one financial counseling with individuals in front of us, whether it's in an office space. I like to meet my clients where they're comfortable. So sometimes they want me to meet them at their jobs at lunchtime. Sometimes they want to meet me in a restaurant or someplace after work. Sometimes they want to meet for lunch or breakfast. Wherever they're comfortable is where we'll go. And what I would say to you is this: if you are the financial counselor and your client asks you to meet them somewhere, make sure you have thought of a number of things. Number one is, are you prepared to pay for that lunch or for that or for that that thing, that dinner? All right, because you do not want your client to have to come out of pocket when they're coming to you for help. That's kind of an immediate bad look. So what I recommend is, if you are not in a position and they recommend that you meet for lunch, be the financial counselor right from the start and say, hey, why don't we meet someplace after lunch or after you've had lunch? I want you to be comfortable, and I don't want us to be eating and talking at the same time. So why don't you have lunch first, and then we can meet after lunch or even after work. I don't want you to miss work to meet with me because work is important. Be the financial counselor from the jump. Let that client know that you are already looking out for their best interest, even before you have signed them up to be a client. That will get you that person's signature faster than anything. All right. So one-on-one financial counseling, I've got next to that you. All right. That means that I can't do your one-on-one counseling for you. You have to develop your people skills if you don't already have it. I'm pretty sure most of everyone on this line is great talking to people, because I've spoken to most of you and you sound very convincing and persuasive and know what you want, especially when you are researched and know for sure that this is what it is. So this is the same with financial counseling. This is all about you. You are on stage at that point, because when a client comes to you, you are the star of the show. They are not coming to pay somebody who is not a star. So you got to see yourself as that superstar. And that means that you want to know as much about that client before you sit down with them, because you want to research even their issues before you sit down with them. You want to know, is it child support? You want to know, is it just bad credit? And if it is it a loan? Is it a credit card? Is it student loan? You want to know what it is, because if you don't feel fully versed about that subject, you reach back into your network. You come back into the circle and say, hey, who's the person on this? Let's talk. All right. You get on Google, you say, okay, what's this subject? How do I approach this? Da, da, da. Then you come back into the network and you say, okay, is this the right approach? However you want to play that part, we'll play it with you. We'll make sure you get the right answer. We also have attorneys that will make sure you have the right answer. So later on in the course, I will introduce you to those attorneys so you know who to reach out to for what, okay? So when you see you next to that platform, that means that you are the star of that show. Now, that means as far as one-on-one financial counseling, you have to be prepared to listen, okay? Don't talk, ask questions. Don't talk, ask questions. There's a difference between talking and asking questions, okay? Let them talk. I promise you, you will get more out of them talking than you talking. They will give you insights into their world that they may not even think they told you, okay? I've had clients who were male clients, and that client came to me with his girlfriend the first time. I set rules. If you are not married, I do not speak to both of you at the same time. You have to follow these rules, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the man or the woman will not tell you everything with the other person there. Because so many times have I had that scenario where either the man is planning to leave the woman or the woman is planning to leave the man. And really, that's the purpose of the financial counseling, is to get their money in order to leave. And they will not tell you that when the other one is sitting there. So if that first interview is two people, you make it very basic and you tell them, well, as a rule, if you are not married, I am not in the process of planning your marriage and your future. This interview has to be independent because you are still individuals. And even in advising you financially, I would still advise you to keep your finances separate, because that's the #1 rule of finance, is keep your finances separate. And we're going to get into that later on as well. All right. Interactive financial website. Well, congratulations, guys. We are underway to building our interactive website. It is in the hands of the developers as we speak. So you will have all the tools that we need on the website to do what we're going to learn now. Classroom workshops. All the workshops have been developed. They will simply be rolled out to you and trained. You will be trained on how to roll out these workshops. You will not have to develop your own workshop. They are already prepared for you. They are in conjunction with the OFE, Office of Financial Empowerment workshops. Many of these workshops I have actually helped to create. I've been doing this for a long time. I was directly working with OFE on these programs. So I know a lot of these things inside and out, and I promise you I'll help you navigate them rather easily. The website, basic website publications, that's coming along with the website. We're going to have people that's going to be doing nothing but updating our website, cranking out information for us, updating it. We're going to have a live store on there. That store includes where people can sign up for your services. Okay, so if they want you directly, they can specify that I want this particular counselor. If they don't specify a counselor, it'll be divided out evenly amongst all the counselors in the network. The social and family network. This, guys, is where you will make your money. I promise you, I cannot tell you how much money I make every year, starting right now, starting right this minute, which is why I need you so badly, from tax season, just from my network, my social network, my family and friends network. And now we are all in this cyber world now. Our network have actually expanded, people. There are now these apps out there that people are pulling me onto. There's a new one, I can't even remember the name of it, that I'm gonna be dealing with Fern on. But these apps are money makers for what we do. So, but they are also the place where they will call you out quick, fast, in front of millions of people if you slip up and say something that makes no sense in the financial world. Which brings us back to, you must know what you're talking about. Be confident in what you say because you know you've done your research. All right. So lastly, all right, the basics of financial counseling, the basic outcomes. All right. But these basic outcomes are the ones that we get paid from the government for. Okay. These are contract outcomes. So if you live in a state where there's a HRA, which is Human Resource Administration in New York, they handle all the Medicaid and assistance program. In another state, it might be family services and so forth. Whatever state you're in, there's a division that handles that. They have the programs that we're going to connect to get us paid directly from them. And these are the outcomes that they're looking for. These outcomes have to be quantitative as well as qualitative. So for instance, open banking accounts, right? There are criteria to the accounts. One of the criteria is there cannot be any monthly fees. I have banks in the various cities that do not charge a monthly fee for their accounts, but it's our job to know who these banks are and steer our clients to them. There are banks that will create a savings account, and we want to know how much are they earning in interest, and we want to research if there are any other banks that give them more and as well as still don't charge them. So there's factors that we're going to weigh in that whole banking environment. We're going to teach you how to handle your clients' debts. Debts is everything from bad credit card debts to bad loan debts to student loans to, this is the big one, and believe it or not, it's probably the easiest one. Has anyone here ever experienced a garnishment?
No.
Okay, does anyone know what a garnishment is?
When they take money from your check every month, every week, every paycheck.
That's when you are sued in a court of law and the court gives your creditor a judgment against you. And in that judgment, the court tells your creditors they now have the right to go and attach a lien to your paycheck. Okay, so that creditor now has the right to go to your bank and present them with an order from the court to pay them whatever the amount is that the court has ordered. The bank will have to comply to that court order. And before they do, of course, they will send you a letter saying that they just received this from the bank, from the courts, and they have 7 days to comply. If you have any actions that you would like to put forward to stop them from complying, you have that 7 days to do that. I will show you how to stop those actions. Okay, and no, you do not have to be a lawyer. Everything that I'm going to show you is what you can do as a financial counselor without a law license. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:15. I want to definitely thank you for spending the last hour with me in this overview of the training course that's about to come up. I would like for you guys to indicate to me that you would like to move forward with the actual training. And I will be, because what I would like to do is to send you the training material each week before the next session, so you can at least have a chance to go through it, do some quick research if you want to, so you can be the smart one in the class for that day. All right. That goes to all of you guys. That means that everybody's going to be the smart one in the class that day. Okay, so how do you let me know? Please send me I think that I am getting messages now, so that works. Okay, okay. Awesome, awesome. Okay, good. Let's see, how do I work this? Okay, so just the email that we're going to be using is the covermenonprofit@gmail.com. So all our communication will be through that email. Don't confuse it with my personal email because I get tons in there that I'm trying to figure out how to clean up that email box now myself. So covermenonprofit@gmail. Just send me a quick email saying, yes, I'd like to continue. And that way I know who's willing. Now, the next thing I'd like to also discuss, and if everyone would unmute and we can have a dialogue for a minute, I would like to find out if today being Tuesday, or do you want to move the training to a weekend or a Monday evening? What day does this group here feel is best for the training? Does Tuesdays work, or Sunday evening, or Monday evening? So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday right now are the 3 days options.
Any day's fine with me personally.
Okay. All right. All right. Excellent. So what I will do, I will send out the confirmed day also when I send you guys the next round of materials. And I am available to you guys in the morning hours. I'd say between 10 and 1 would be the best time to call me with any questions about the lessons that we're going to be learning. All right, because I want to give you guys like office hours to ask any personal in-depth questions so you could get a better understanding. So between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. in the afternoon, feel free to call me with any questions. I'm going to try to organize myself with a better time management schedule, and so we can always have time to get together on whatever level you guys want to. All right. So guys, thank you so much. It is now 8:19. I got 11 minutes to get ready for my next meeting. You guys are amazing, and I hope that this was informative for you. Take a minute to go through the rest of the paperwork and have some questions for me on that as well in our next meeting, all right? Or during our office hours. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Thank you.
All right.